Stretching is a complicated issue when it comes to fitness, but I'm hopefully going to simplify it in this short workout. And we're going to be doing mainly dynamic stretches, which are basically stretches while you're moving. But we will finish off with a couple of static stretches. All you'll need is a mat for the end, a little bit of space, a chair that you can hold on to, or a wall possibly. So if you stand with your feet a little wider than hip width apart, soften the knees and push forward. You can see from the side here, push forward through the pelvis and curl round. And then I'm going to stick out my bottom, flatten my back and roll my shoulders away from my ears. So I'm arching the spine the other way. So I'm just pulling in the tummy and rounding my shoulders, and then I'm doing the opposite. I'm rolling my shoulders away from my ears, sticking out my bottom, sort of arching my back the other way, dipping my belly towards the floor. Roll up, rolling the shoulders back, bringing the chin up last, touching the fingertips or the hands behind. Mobilisation, movement, but also stretching through the chest, keeping the knees soft, keeping everything else still. So when your fingertips touch behind, you're stretching through the chest. Now just stretching over, maybe not so far the first time, and the other way, keeping your hips still, gradually going a little further if you want to. Keeping those knees soft, trying not to shrug your shoulders up, so you feel that stretch down the side of your body. Wake it up slowly, breathe as you go. Just one more each side. And then coming back, stepping back with one leg, heel down at the back, front knee bend, stretching into your calf muscle there. Make sure your foot is pointing straight forwards. Let's take the opposite arm towards that hip on the leg that's at the back, and then bring it back to centre, step in, change legs. So you're turning your upper body, but trying to keep your hips facing the front. We're getting a nice rotation. Try and turn from the waist, not from the neck. That's how you get the movement. Change sides. So keep moving smoothly. Keep the breath flowing. Really important. But then we're going to bring our body upright. So let go. And then push forward through the hip and lift the heel at the back, feeling a nice stretch into your hip flexor. Lean forward, heel down at the back again. Lift the heel, push forward through the hip, bending the knee. Let's change sides. So first of all, the calf stretch, leaning forwards, heel down at the back. Then you bring your body upright, and as you do, you lift the heel and push forward through that hip. Keep the breath flowing. Not too much pressure in those wrists as you lean forward, and of course you don't need anything for support, so that's just optional. Let's step wide-ish, turning out the knees and toes, and just doing some side-to-side lunges. Just easing into those inner thighs. So let's hold it to one side and touch the opposite knee with a twist, taking the other arm behind. And then carefully do the same on the other side, trying to turn the chest and keeping the shoulders away from the ears. Let's go back to the original side. Go a bit further, maybe even towards your big toe. You can feel that inner thigh stretch a lot more if you go lower. But stay within your range. This is something to build up to. Keep the tummy in for support and always move very carefully. Let's go back to the centre and we'll do that original move that we did at the beginning, except this time our knees and toes are wider. So tummy muscles in and curl around, pushing forward. And then roll the shoulders back, stick out the bottom, look straight ahead, and then chin to chest. And as you straighten out your back and look straight ahead, press your knees a little wider. And as you round the spine in this shape, the knees can relax, so the inner thigh stretch can relax, and then go back into it as you straighten out your back. One more. Keep that breath flowing. Lovely. And then let's come up through the vertebra. Let's just stretch out the chest here. Squeezing the shoulder blades together, even linking the fingers and lifting the arms, keeping the elbows slightly bent, knees are soft, and breathe. Just gently putting my heel on the floor, leaning forwards, the other leg is bent slightly, and my shoulders are away from my ears, and you sort of stick out your bottom and lean forward, and you feel a stretch at the back of this leg. But then we're going to lift that, turn the knee outwards and place the foot above the knee and sort of sit down. I'm trying not to crowd my shoulders round too much. I'm keeping my shoulders back and down. I'm now feeling a stretch here around my glutes and the outer thigh. So I'm going to go back into my heel dig. Remember, the other leg is bent. Relax through the wrists and shoulders. Tummy muscles in for support, and then turn the knee out to the side, still bending the supporting leg and sort of sitting down behind me, feeling a stretch here. Okay, so that's twice on that side. The supporting leg does feel it, so it's a bit of a workout for the other leg. But now we're going to switch legs. So taking your heel dig, tummy muscles in, not punching the shoulders round, heel down, toes up, feeling that stretch in the hamstring. And then placing the foot above the knee with the knee out to the side, you can see here, and feeling it here in my outer thigh and glutes. So back to the hamstring stretch, relaxing the shoulders, and then sitting down into it, trying to keep the knee of the supporting leg behind the toes, not coming in front of the toes, and coming up, giving the legs a shake. I'm going to try without using the chair, the back of the chair. So back to the original leg. Trying to keep the pelvis steady without lifting the hip. There's my hamstring stretch. Feel free to reach if you want to. But then keeping this leg bent, turning out the knee, placing the foot above the knee and sitting down into it. Breathing through it, feeling it here. Outer thigh and around the glutes. Keeping the tummy muscles in. And then just coming up into this one. Standing tall through the supporting hip, keeping the hips facing the front. It's another one for your outer thigh. It's less intense and it's a nice little balance to finish off with. So let's do the same on the other side. So heel dig. Feeling that hamstring stretch and then keeping this knee bent, sitting down into it. I'm not as good on this side. Breathing through it. Moving in a flowing manner, hopefully, and then coming up tall and keeping the hips facing the front, just holding it across there with the opposite hand. Of course, you can hold on to something if you need to, like a wall, and bringing it down and shaking it out. Well done. So finishing off on the mats, just coming down carefully onto your mat. We're going to lie on one side and bring our top foot up to our bottom, just to stretch through the quad. So feel it here. Just relax into this stretch. Try not to tense the back of your leg. And release, and let's do the same on the other side. I'm going to swivel round. Take your time. So relaxing on the floor, relaxing the shoulders. Breathing through it. Feel that stretch up your thigh. You can actually be propped up on your elbow if you prefer, but it's not as comfortable. And when you're done, just bring yourself up to sitting. Take the legs wide, they don't have to be straight. Try to roll the knees outwards rather than inwards, and the same goes for your feet. And just lean forwards, leading with your chest without hunching the shoulders round. Again, we're going for the inner thighs, but if you can get your legs straight, we're going for the hamstrings too. Breathe, shoulders back, and very gently bring your legs in. And you can sit comfortably cross-legged, or you can have your legs in front of you. Try and use your core to sit as tall as possible, and don't clench your thighs. Keep your knees soft. Shoulders back and down. Let's just stretch into those shoulders. So pressing the arm towards you with the opposite hand, feeling it here. Breathe through it. And the other one. Lovely. holding these stretches for a few seconds, keeping the breath flowing, and then keeping the shoulders down, reach your arms up, bend the elbows and touch the back of your neck or the back of your head, and then as you lift your elbows a little higher, see if you can walk your fingers a little further down your spine, stretching into your triceps. Breathe, sit tall and release, shoulders back and down, just bring your chin to your chest, stretch the back of your neck, turn, raise the chin and look to one side, lower it back to your chest and do the same on the other side. Keep the breath flowing, back to your chest, treat your neck with caution, lift your chin, and you're done. Thank you, I hope you enjoyed that, and I'll see you next time. If you did enjoy it, please subscribe to my channel, tell your friends, because there's plenty more where that came from.